What's up, all my devil dogs? It's your boy Sean, the thestrengthcorps 5-star general. I just finished hitting back today, man. It was a really good workout. Very quick, very intense. I'm trying to cut back on some of the work. I still got cardio left to do, but that's a whole nother story. All right, you clicked on the video because today I'm going to teach you how to construct a complete full back routine. Okay, if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see more videos like it. But let's start off. So there's basically three components, right? Three that I'm going to share with you guys today in order to build your perfect back workout routine. Okay, it's going to be very simple, very basic, easy to follow. So let's focus on the first point, right? And that's actually constructing the workout. So there's 4 basic movements that you're going to want to incorporate. Now I know a lot of people like 4. I thought that's just rows and verts. We're going to cover rows and verts, and then I'm going to give you the other 2 movements that you want to incorporate. So of course, starting number 1, you got to do rows, okay? And that's anything where you're basically doing scapular retraction. So I'll put some clips on the screen right here so you can see me doing different rowing exercises, whether it be cable rows or bent over barbell rows, one-arm dumbbell rows. Sorry if it's too loud in here. But you know, whatever type of row you're doing, you want to make sure that, you know, you're getting some type of movement where you're doing scapular retraction. You're bringing your shoulder blades together and squeezing and then slowly releasing on that eccentric portion of the movement, okay? That's going to help build back thickness. Now, a lot of people, you know, they may have a wide back from doing things like pull-ups, which we'll cover in a second, but a lot of times people's back is not thick. You know, they're missing that thickness, that depth, you know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you're hitting your rows and you're hitting them with, you know, intensity, with heavy weight, with moderate weight. You know, you want to make sure you're really hitting all those muscles with any type of movement that is scapular retraction. The second movement we're going to talk about are vertical movements, and the classification for this is pretty much pull-ups or lat pull downs. Anything where you're basically bringing your arms up high and bringing them down towards your sides, okay? So this movement here, whether you have your hands overhand, underhand, neutral, doesn't matter. You know, as long as you bring your arms down to the side of your body. I can't for the life of me think of the name of it, but once I do find it, I'll put it on the screen down below, okay? I'm trying to make this video quick. If I sit here and think about it, I'm never gonna remember, okay? But you wanna make sure that you're incorporating that. Now, that's gonna give you back width. And a lot of people want that wide back. That's what helps you fill out t-shirts, and that actually makes you look bigger than having a big chest or big arms. You have a wide back, that opens up your entire body. It gives you more size. The back is a huge muscle, okay? So you want to make sure that you're getting in your pull-ups, all right? Now, a lot of people like to go super wide, and there's a misconception that the wider you go with your pull-ups, the wider your back's gonna get, and that's actually the complete opposite, okay? You actually get a much greater range of motion as you bring your hands closer. And here's how you can test that out. So next time you're doing any type of pull down, right? Do a pull down with your arms way out wide like this. And you're gonna see the range of motion is very short. It's very short because your arms are way out here. As you come closer and you bring your arms in, now you can come up higher and come down lower. Because you can't come as low with your arms flared out like this. But as you come in, you can actually get lower. And that's gonna give you a longer range of motion, therefore more stimulation for the lats, therefore making your back a lot wider, okay? Try it out. If you do a weight wide, it's gonna be a lot easier than when you bring it in close. 10 reps out here is gonna be a lot easier than 10 reps in here, all right? So you wanna make sure you're getting stuff like pull-ups, lat pull-downs, you know, varying hand, you know, positioning, whatever. Make sure that's incorporated. Now let's talk about the other 2 movements, okay? So the third movement we're gonna talk about, right, is pullovers. So anything like the dumbbell pullover or cable pullovers, or if you're lucky enough to have like the best pullover machine, this is like a hammer strength lat pullover machine. I actually used it in one of my older videos. I'll go ahead and put that on the screen. I actually went back to my old videos and put this on the screen. I'm really working for y'all, okay? This is a super old video. And while you're at it, you know what? I'm gonna link that video in the cards feature. Go watch it. It's a very good video. It has a bunch of views. Can really help a lot of you guys out. So, any type of pullover movement that you're doing, right? That's gonna really help stimulate the lats and kind of isolate them. That's one of the few movements, you know, pretty much where you're going with your arms straight up or up high and just bringing them straight down, okay? That's basically shoulder extension. So this is shoulder flexion. That's good for the upper chest. We're not talking about chest, talking about back, okay? So shoulder extension is gonna be really good for isolating the lats, all right? So you wanna make sure that whenever you're doing this exercise, whether it be with dumbbells, cable pullovers, you wanna make sure you're not using a weight that's too heavy, because what tends to happen is you'll start using triceps. You'll start pushing and you'll activate the tricep as you push, and then you're taking the whole point of the exercise away. We're trying to work back, not arms, okay? That'll be another video if you guys are interested. but you want to make sure you're using a weight where you can really feel it right in the lats, okay? And it's going to help the serratus, those little fish gills. So if you're trying to look like a shark up in this motherfucker, you want to make sure that you're doing some pullovers, all right? So a lot of people, you know, leave that out of their workout, and it's a very important movement. So, okay, that's movement number 3. So we already got rows, we got verts, we got pullovers. Last one is going to be back extension. So anything with hip extension, not hip flexion, hip extension. So that's basically this movement right here. Okay? Anything that does that movement where you're basically going from a 90 to a 45-degree angle and coming straight up, all right? I'll put some clips on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But you can do that by doing rack pulls, which are really good. You can do a lot of heavy weight. And you can also do things like back extensions, right? But you want to use moderate weight on those. And let me tell you why really quickly. Whenever you're doing back extensions, you want to isolate the lower back. That's the whole point you're doing it. If you put too much weight, that same movement can help build your glutes and your hamstrings, like when you're doing Romanian or stiff leg deadlifts. So you want to use a very light weight because you want to focus all the contraction in your lower back. And two things can happen if you go too heavy on that. One, you risk injury, because if you're putting too much weight on your lower back, which is not that big a muscle, the erectors are not that big. They can handle a lot, but if you put too much on them, you don't want a lower back injury. Trust me, been there, it fucking sucks, okay? But by using a heavier weight, the second thing that could happen is that your glutes and your hamstrings will take over, because your glutes are literally probably the strongest muscle. If you have developed glutes, that's probably the strongest muscle you have in your body. Why do you think you can squat so much? Why do you think you can deadlift so much? Because the glutes are the biggest and strongest muscles that you have, okay? That is the core of everything. Everything starts from the glutes. So if you're putting a weight that's too heavy while you're trying to do, you know, back extensions, a lot of times what will happen is you'll find yourself squeezing the glutes, tightening the hamstrings, and then you're basically just doing a Romanian or stiff leg deadlift instead of doing back extensions. So as you saw in the clip, or if I haven't posted, I'll put it on the screen now, I'm using like a 10-pound dumbbell or plate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something very light, and I only did about 10 to 15 reps, and I felt it in my lower back because I wasn't engaging my glutes or hamstrings. Very important. Now, for the last portion of the video, I'm going to cover the other 2 parts of making a complete back workout. And the first is that you need volume, okay? The back is such a big muscle. You've got the teres major, the teres minor, the lats, the erectors. There's so many different intricate muscles inside of the back that you can't not give it enough volume. The more muscle, the more volume it needs. That's why back and legs, you have to hit them with volume if you want to see growth, because they're such big muscles. And then you can't come in here and do 10 to 15 sets and expect to have these huge developed quads or this big, ginormous developed back. It's not going to happen, okay? So you want to make sure that you're hitting it with enough volume. All right, now I'm not saying you got to go stupid high volume like as if you're on anabolics. You know, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But you want to make sure you're hitting it to the point where you're getting enough stimulation. That sounded so terrible. You want to make sure that you're getting enough volume in to stimulate the muscles so that way they have growth, okay? So be sure to incorporate volume into your routine. And what I'll do, I'm actually going to put basically on the screen right now, you'll see a basic outline of a good solid back day, okay? Now this is not something for somebody super advanced, may not even be something for a beginner, but it's something a beginner or intermediate can actually use, and you'll see good results with it, okay? Some people prefer higher volume, some people lower volume if you're a super new beginner, but that routine will work for everybody. I've got 2 movements for each of the ones I talked about. You got 2 rows, 2 verts, 2 pullovers, and 2 back extension exercises, and that makes a complete and full back day, sticking at around 10 reps or so. And that way you can really focus on getting a good contraction. You're not trying to move too much weight by lowering the weight to like 3 or 4 or 5 reps, okay? The last thing that we're going to do before we wrap this video up is we're going to talk about using the right amount of weight. So a lot of times with the back, yes, you can go heavy and do sets of maybe 3 to 5 if you're doing something like a deadlift or a rack pull. And then there's also times you're going to want to maybe go 8 to 12 if you're doing something like a bent over row or a 1-arm dumbbell row or cable rows. There's even going to be times where maybe you want to go 10 to 15 reps if you're doing something like a back extension or like a 1-arm row. You're really trying to isolate the lats, or even cable pullovers, right? But you want to use a weight that's moderate. A lot of times people will use a lot of weight and they'll use too much momentum. Like I see it a lot on the barbell row, right? The barbell bent over row. A lot of people will get on there and they'll use a lot of momentum. So instead of, you know, contracting and coming down, you see them bouncing a lot, you know? And then you see people too upright too. If you're too upright and you're bringing it up, you're basically doing a shrug. You're not really developing the back. The lower you get, the better angle you get for that movement, the more the back is gonna be involved. So in theory, if you can get a good damn near 90 degrees, maybe just a slight bit above, maybe 30 degrees or so, that's gonna be perfect for you. But if you're too upright, like you're like 80 degrees, I mean, you're basically doing a shrug, all right? You're doing a shrug with poor form, you know? So you're doing 2 exercises with terrible form when you're trying to just do 1, okay? So you wanna make sure you're using a weight where you can do the movement properly, and I promise you that's gonna be a lot better and a lot more beneficial in terms of muscular development instead of trying to just move a bunch of weight that you can't. All right, there's a time and place to move weight and test your nuts and all that shit, but for the most part, the gym is not about demonstrating your strength, man. I don't have to, I know a lot of people don't like Jason Blaha, man, but ever since he said that, I have respect for him. I don't agree with most of the shit he be talking about, but I have respect ever since he said that shit. The gym is not about showing strength or demonstrating it. It's about developing strength, man. You're not in here to show off. You're not in here to, you know, the next person doesn't give a damn if you can squat 4 plates or you can deadlift 6 plates. That they might say, oh, that's cool for 2 seconds, you know, that might be cool on YouTube, but for the most part in the gym, nobody cares. Everybody's trying to accomplish their goals. They're not worried about yours. Okay, so in the gym, you know, do the weight that you can do. Don't try and, you know, do a bunch of weight you see on YouTube or you see somebody else doing. Don't worry about it. They had to, you know, put in their dues too. Take me, for example, I had to start off with 10 pounds on each side of the bench press. I tell people all the time, like my bench now, I can do 315. When I first started, I had 10s on each side and it was struggling. Couldn't do 1 dip. Now dips are nothing and I can bench 315, but this is 5 years in the making. You know what I'm saying? This shit is not a sprint, it's a marathon, man. You know, you gotta stick to it. So when it comes to developing the back, make sure that you're using a moderate weight. You're gonna feel a much better contraction. You're gonna, you know, spend less time spinning your wheels by, you know, doing it properly the first time around, all right? We all had to make mistakes. I made mistakes, and I'm trying to show you guys so you don't make the same mistakes I did and you can get gains faster than me. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. If you do like videos like this, if you maybe wanna see how to build, you know, a perfect chest workout or abs or whatever other muscle that you're trying to develop, go ahead and leave a comment below and I'll be sure to, you know, bring you guys through that, how to build that type of workout, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's pretty good because I think a lot of people are misconstrued about, you know, what kind of exercise to do to develop the muscle, you know, completely and fully and properly. And a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions in their head. I'm trying to end all that shit, okay? I'm trying to make sure that you guys get in the gym, you know, do just enough. You're not killing yourself, but you're not, you know, selling yourself short, okay? So if you do like these type of videos, please go ahead and comment below. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, all right? I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. I'm in here grinding for y'all, man, grinding. Now I gotta go hit my cardio. All right, go get a meal, get home, watch Walking Dead, and go to bed. Ooh, that rhyme, bars. Don't forget the orders. Subscribe and share, like and comment, follow my social media. Till next time, all my devil dogs, dismissed.
I'm a general, a nigga, I'm a general, salute. I'm a general, a nigga, I'm a general, salute. I'm a general, a nigga.